So how do you find your flow? How do you get more of that strategy together? Well, again, you've got to prioritize those values. Once upon a time, I took on a contract. Yeah, it was still in 2020. I took a contract out in desperation instead of inspiration. I was working 12 to 16 hours a day, but I had agreed during that time to cut things off at 6 o'clock and spend time with my husband. I was on a Zoom call. It was about 6:30. I was running my mouth with this person, and then the camera just went out. The camera went black. I ran downstairs, and if there was a cord, a true cord to the Wi-Fi, he would have been twirling it around like a cat holding his tail. He turned off the Wi-Fi, y'all. He turned off my Wi-Fi. That sounds like an actionable offense. But I said, "What did you just do? My clients need me." He goes, "I need you." And I had lost sight of my values. I had lost sight of my why. I hadn't been looking at my pictures, and I had to really reset and reprioritize what was important to me. So I needed to tell this person that I was working with that my life is just as important as this project, as important as this contract. So you've got to make time for the things that are important in your life. And I'm going to say an F word that's okay on this summit. Fun. Remember fun? Remember when was the last time you played? I want to even ask that student, that 11-year-old, when was the last time you played? I'm sure he's probably played a lot more than we have, um, but we need to continue to play like children. Imagine, have fun. Also, show your ask and talk it out. Talk with people, talk it out with coworkers, with friends, with mental health therapists, if you have access to that. If you don't, I've got to tell you, some of the best therapists I had were in my family and friend group too. Your support system is chock full of people who will listen for this very reason. It's easy to get isolated when you are dealing with, I struggle with anxiety and depression all the time. And the first thing I want to do is I call it get cavey. I get cavey. I get into myself. I withdraw and I don't want anyone else to see me in pain. But that is when you need to reach out for those people. As hard as it is, you've got to get that weighted blanket off and talk to somebody. Talk it out, reach out. For months and years, I was suffering in silence. But I learned that it wasn't the environment that I was working in that was causing the work burnout. It was the internal environment, not the external environment. It was the internal environment. And it takes practice to have the courage to ask for help, but it's so vitally important when you're strategizing how to rise and thrive above it all. It is so, so important. Now, for those of you that are working and have time off, have you taken vacation at all at this point in time of the year? Has anyone taken any vacation time? I'm not seeing a lot of nodding. I see one hand up. Has anyone taken, if you have not taken vacation, I'm going to give you a public service announcement. And this is all over the world. Take your time. Oh, Angela's on vacation now. All right, Colette hasn't taken her vacation, sort of. Okay, I see a sort of over here in Nicole. Okay, take your time off. Don't be a vacation squirrel. It's not a collectible. It does not increase in value the longer that you have it on the shelf. The culture that you may work in could see you having accrued vacation as a badge of honor, but that's not the case. I've not had a proper vacation in what? Oh my gosh, Senabu, we need to get you on a break. 4 years. Oh no, no, no. Didier, no, we need to change this. So take the real courageous path. The badge of honor that you can carry is some sand in your shoes and some sun on your face with sunscreen, and take that time off, delegating, developing others to lead while you're out of the office. That way, that's the most courageous thing, is letting go. That concrete building won't care if you are here or not, or that if you do or don't take that vacation. And let me tell you, after 18 years of service to an organization, I had a check in my hand for $3,000. $3,000 versus 3,000 memories I could have been making. Didn't have the same zing. Didn't have the same zing at all when I left that organization. So cashing out the time, not the same. So like I say in my book, show your ask, which ASK, I always have to spell it out. Show your ask. It's about using your voice to advocate for yourself and your career. Budget, protect, and invest your time like it was your money. I'm going to say it one more time. Budget, protect, and invest your time like it was your money. It is so important. You can make more money. You cannot make more time. Take the time off. Even if it's a half day, even if it's 30 minutes, use your time off. You've earned it. And even if you haven't earned it, it is your right to rest and restore. It is a human right to rest. Do it. So, the final step is to execute. Just like any action plan or goal, you need to hold yourself accountable. You need to take action. You need to celebrate the milestones, even the little tiny steps that you did to rise and thrive above it all. Like I said before, don't go it alone. Show your ask, delegate, ask for help. It is actually empowering when you ask somebody to help you out and they give you that gift of time. You're also actually giving them the skills and tools to do the job that they may aspire to do in the future. Resistance to delegation is really a control issue. I can tell you why, because I'm a card carrying control freak. It is a control thing. But it's easier once you've taught that person to do what you need them to do, to give them to somebody to help you, you're freeing up time to do other things. Remember all those values that you're surrounding yourself with? Don't forget those. Don't forget the vision board on your phone. Ask for help. Don't ignore the signs. Remember that Ace of Base song? I saw the signs and it opened up my eyes. That is like the song of my work burnout. Don't see the sign. Don't ignore the signs. I'm going to share another dirty 4-letter word. It's called rest. Rest. Yes. It is also another way of saying no. Personally, I still struggle with taking rest because I saw rest as not being productive. But newsflash, the more rest that I gave myself, the more productive I was. It's not doing anything. You are actively doing something. You are restoring. You are recharging. You are recharging that battery that was on low, that was blinking, charge me, so that you can go out in the world and do all these fabulous things that support your why. I've made rest and growing rest and increasing rest and restoration one of my key performance indicators of my own business. I am no good to anyone if I'm not good to myself first. Pay attention to your body and how people are reacting to you. What is the feedback that they are giving you? And you know your body best. Listen to yourself. Don't push yourself so hard. If you can't move, if something is causing you to not physically be able to move, or if you're not physically able to move, do the best that you can and give yourself space and grace and celebrate that. Hey, you know what? I used to be able to work out a whole hour of cardio. You know what? Now my body is only able to give me 15 minutes. You know what? That is okay. I'm going to celebrate that. If you're short tempered, if you have increased insomnia, if your blood pressure is getting a little too high, if you find that you're eating out of emotion, these are warning signs that you might be experiencing some anxiety and stress, that you might be burning out. Then you need to go back to bullet number 1, show your ask, and ask for help. And find a buddy. Find an accountability buddy on this call or elsewhere that's going to check in on you. How are you doing? Just that simple question, checking in. I have an accountability every day that checks in with me. How are you doing? Were you able to find joy today? Because that's what I'm trying to do every day is seek joy every day. Find a buddy, be a buddy to yourself. So, what does success look like now? Well, I'm wearing a whole bunch of different hats now. I'm a nap artist. I'm a fun ambassador. I host self-care retreats. Self-care isn't selfish retreats at the beach. It's what I'm doing now. It's not perfect, but I'm not aiming for perfection. I'm just aiming for progress. That's what I'm doing. And I remember to celebrate. Gosh, you cannot forget to celebrate. One of the biggest things that I want to have you walk away with is that at 7 o'clock every night, I have an alarm that goes off on my phone and says, what are you celebrating today? What are you grateful for? Track that stuff down. Keep the receipts. That will keep you motivated. That will keep you rising and thriving above it all because you've got receipts. Each month I take down one thing I'm celebrating. I already manifested that I'd be rocking this presentation. So I already put that in there for today. But put down what's going on, what's going to happen, what you want to manifest so you can alleviate some of that stress and anxiety. And then that is your dig folder. What's a dig folder? That's a damn I'm good folder. It's a log of small and big successes. Keep that. I encourage you to celebrate your successes, large and small. Put that in that dig folder. Log all the wonderful things that you did for yourself today, inside and outside of work. Did you hold on to your values? Did you take time for yourself today? Did you meditate? Did you take an air break? Celebrate that. Take an inventory of all the things that you wanted to accomplish that support your why. So again, the ending of my story is just like the beginning. I have to constantly rise and thrive above it all every day. But there are times where I've fallen back into old patterns. But change isn't a straight line. It ebbs and flows. It goes up and down, side to side. But all you have to do is take that one step. It could be 5 minutes of meditation in the morning before you start your day. Saying a positive affirmation in the mirror like, I am well, I am worthy, I am enough, I am loved, and I am light. That is one thing that I say every day. I am well. I am well. Sometimes I might not feel it in my bones, but I am going to make that a manifestation affirmation and make it so. I am well. It could be finding that accountability buddy or that fix your face buddy for your next webinar. It could be reaching out and asking for help, but executing, making sure that you're taking action. So I want you to take a deep breath in, everybody. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Ooh, that felt good. Let's do it again one more time. Take a deep breath in and let it out. That is your body's way of reminding you that you have been given another day, another chance to make a big difference in this world. We need you. You matter. There is only one you, unique yourself out there, and we need your magic in this world. And as the great Reverend Dr. Dolly Parton has to say, never get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life. Be kind to yourself. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your incredible personal experiences as well as your expertise and your RISE framework. I really hope that we all implement that in our lives and become more intentional with our wellness and our work-life balance. Do we have any questions right now that we want to ask Joyel, or are we going to wait until we have our Q&A at the end? Give us 1 second. Okay, so I have some great news. We are Oh, we have a hand raised. Let's see here. Mrs. Denise.
I'm
I'm gonna un- I'm gonna unmute you, or you can unmute yourself, Mrs. Denise, and you can ask your question.
I'm sorry, I didn't have a question. I didn't
Oh,
mean to raise
okay.
my hand. I
No
wanted
problem.
to, I was applauding.
Ah,
I
thank
hit the
you.
hand.
We love the
Sorry.
applause. No problem.